The will was open on the mahogany table. Grandma's ink still fresh, my name glowing beside the lake house, the trust, the diamonds. Mom's manicured nails dug into Dad's arm. Dad's eyes turned to steel. Then Mom's voice cracked the silence. She was senile. This is theft. And in that breath, I felt the knife twist before it even touched skin. My name is Harper, and this is how everything changed. The lawyer's voice floated above the ticking grandfather clock. Harper Elise Montgomery, sole heir to $4.2 million, the estate and all personal effects. I stared at the paper, couldn't move. Across the table, Mom's lipstick bled at the edges. Dad's knuckles went white around his Mont Blanc pen. Mr. Caldwell pushed his glasses up. Any questions? Mom laughed. High, brittle. Yes. When do we contest? Just like that. No hug, no tears of pride, just war. The room smelled of old leather and lemon polish. Grandma's portrait hung above the fireplace, her eyes soft, knowing, like she'd seen this coming. She'd warned me. Harper, baby. Blood don't mean family. Love does. I was 7 when they left me here. A pink suitcase, a stuffed bunny with one ear. Mom's perfume lingering like a ghost. We'll be back every weekend, she'd said. They came twice, once for Christmas, drunk, late, arguing over the gravy. Once for Grandma's funeral, sober, early, already counting. Now the house was mine. The lake house with the creaky dock. The wraparound porch where I learned to ride a bike. The kitchen where Grandma taught me to make peach cobbler from scratch. $4.2 million. Jewelry, stocks, bonds, everything she'd built while they partied in Manhattan. Everything they'd pretended didn't exist. Dad cleared his throat. Harper, you're young. You don't understand money. I looked at him. Really looked. The crow's feet, the receding hairline dyed too dark. The Rolex that wasn't paid off. I understand enough to know you haven't paid taxes in 3 years. His face went purple. Mom gasped. Mr. Caldwell's pen paused midair. How dare you? Dad started. How dare I? My voice rose. I dare because I found the letters, the IRS notices. The second mortgage on your condo silence. Thick, suffocating. Mom's hand fluttered to her pearls. Those were private. Like the abortion you paid for with Grandma's credit card? The room spun. I hadn't meant to say it. Not yet, but it was out. Dad's fist slammed the table. You little— Enough! Mr. Caldwell stood. The will is clear. Signed, witnessed, notarized. Mrs. Montgomery was lucid until the end. Mom's eyes filled. Real tears this time. But Richard, the firm, the debt's Dad's jaw worked. We'll fight this. I smiled. Small, cold. Go ahead. Inside, I was screaming. Outside, I was stoned. I left the study first, walked the long hallway lined with photos. Me at 5, gap-toothed, on Grandma's shoulders. Me at 12, braces and freckles, holding a blue ribbon from the science fair. Me at 18, graduation cap crooked, Grandma's arms around me. No photos of Mom and Dad after age 7. They'd stopped coming, stopped calling, stopped pretending. I went to Grandma's room, the one overlooking the lake, sat on the edge of the bed. The quilt smelled like lavender and her. I pulled the will from my pocket, read it again. Every word. To my granddaughter, Harper Elise Montgomery, I leave everything I have because she gave me everything she had. Tears came then. Hot. Silent. I didn't wipe them away. Downstairs, voices rose. I crept to the railing. Mom and Dad in the kitchen, lit by the under-cabinet lights. Mom paced. We can't lose this, Richard. The Cayman's account is almost empty. Dad poured scotch. Langston says undue influence. We say she isolated Mom. Threatened to leave if the will wasn't changed. Mom stopped. We have the nurse. She'll say anything for 10 grand. Dad nodded. And the neighbor, his kid's college fund. I gripped the banister. Wood groaned under my fingers. They were planning. Already, before the ink was dry, I went back to bed. Didn't sleep. Just stared at the moon on the water. Remembered the night Grandma made me promise. She was fading, oxygen mask fogging. Harper, don't let them take you from me again. I'd held her hand. I won't. She'd smiled. Weak, beautiful. You're my legacy, baby. Not the money. You mourning came gray. I packed a bag. Just in case, toothbrush, jeans, the will, Grandma's locket, the one with our photo inside. I went to the kitchen, made coffee, strong, black, Sat at the island where we used to play Scrabble. Mom came down first. Silk robe, hair perfect. Harper. We need to talk, I sipped. About what? How you're going to lie in court? Her face hardened. You're ungrateful. After everything you what? Abandoned me? Forgot my birthdays? Used Grandma's money for your vacations? Dad appeared. Boxers and a scowl. Watch your tone. Or what? You'll ground me? I'm 22. He stepped closer. You think this money makes you better? You're still the kid we couldn't handle. The words hit like a slap. I stood. Coffee sloshed. I was 7. You left me with a stranger. Grandma wasn't. She was more parent than you ever were. Mom's voice went shrill. We were young. We made mistakes. Mistakes don't sue their kid for millions. Dad's phone buzzed. He glanced. Langston. Excuse me. He walked out. Mom followed. Left me with the cold coffee and the echo of their hate. I drove to town. Needed air. Needed space. Parked by the diner. Jenny waved from the window. I went in. Ordered pancakes. Didn't eat. Just pushed blueberries around the plate. Jenny sat across. You okay? No. I told her. Everything. She listened. Didn't interrupt. When I finished, she said, They're monsters. I nodded. But they're my monsters. She squeezed my hand. Not anymore. Back at the lake house, the gate was locked. New chain, padlock shining. I rattled it. Called Dad, voicemail, called Mom. Same. Texted, What is this? Mom, litigation. You can't stay. Me. This is my home. Mom, was. Pick up your things tomorrow. Supervised. I stared at the phone, felt the world tilt, drove to the dock, sat until sunset, watched the sky bleed orange, remembered Grandma's voice. Water washes everything clean, baby. Even pain. That night, I broke in, climbed the back fence, used the spare key under the frog statue, packed more, photos, Grandma's journals, her wedding ring, hidden in the flour tin, left a note on the counter. I'll be back. This isn't over. I slept in the Honda. Seat reclined, windows cracked, lake breeze cold on my face. At 2:47 a.m., headlights, Dad's SUV. They went inside, lights flicked on. I watched from the shadows. Mom carried a box, Dad a hammer. They went to the living room. I crept closer, peered through the window. Mom held Grandma's portrait. Dad swung. Glass shattered, frame cracked. They laughed. I ran, vomited in the bushes, wiped my mouth, whispered, You'll pay. The storage unit smelled like mold and regret. Unit 217. Dad stood guard in sunglasses and a smirk. Mom inside, sorting my life into trash bags. I arrived at 9:02 a.m., Jenny beside me, moral support. Dad checked his watch. You're late. Traffic. He unlocked the roll-up door. My childhood stared back. Stuffed animals, yearbooks, the bike Grandma bought me for my 10th birthday. Mom held up a photo album. This can go! Into the dumpster. I lunged. That's mine, Dad blocked. Evidence now. Jenny pulled me back. Let it go. I couldn't. Watch them toss memories like garbage. Grandma's Christmas ornaments, my first painting, the one that won the fair, the quilt she made from my baby clothes. Mom paused at the locket, opened it. Our photo. She snapped it shut, pocketed it. That's mine, I said. Was, she replied. Dad zipped the last bag. Time's up. They locked the unit, drove away, left me with nothing but the clothes on my back and the will in my purse. Jenny took me to her place, a 1-bedroom above the laundromat, dryer heat seeping through the floor. She gave me the bed, took the couch. I stared at the ceiling fan, counted rotations, 143 before I cried. She heard, crawled in beside me, held me like Grandma used to. It's okay to break, she whispered. I broke, shattered, pieces too small to glue. The lawsuit escalated. They added elder abuse, claimed I'd withheld medication, forged pharmacy records. The nurse, Mrs. Klein, testified. Harper flushed the pills. Said they were too expensive. I stood. That's a lie. I refilled them myself. The judge banged the gavel. Sit down, Miss Montgomery. Mom cried on cue. Dad held her. Perfect grief. The jury ate it up. They froze the accounts. Grandma's pension, her savings. My name on everything, now poison. The bank called. Unusual activity. I hadn't touched a cent, but the diner fired me anyway. Bad for business. I applied everywhere. Walmart, Target, the library, every application, pending litigation. Yes, no calls. Mom's GoFundMe hit $100,000. Help us save our mother's legacy from our daughter's greed. Strangers sent gifts. A woman mailed a Bible with passages highlighted. Another sent a voodoo doll with my name pinned to the heart. I stopped checking the mail, stopped answering the door, stopped living, then the video. Dad's Facebook Live, the lake house kitchen, sunlight, fresh flowers, lies. Mom held my baby photo. This is Harper at 2. We loved her so much Dad's voice broke. Then she changed, became angry, violent. We tried therapy. She refused, comments flooded, disgusting, hope she burns. Grandma deserved better. Local news picked it up. Millionaire heiress accused of stealing from dying grandmother. My face everywhere. Grocery store TVs, gas station screens. The library computer I used to job hunt. I became the villain, the cautionary tale, the monster under the bed. Jenny lost her job, her boss, can't have drama. Her boyfriend left, too much baggage. We moved to her cousin's basement, a mattress on concrete, a hot plate, a bathroom with a dripping faucet. Drip, drip, drip. Every 7 seconds, I counted. 1,012 before sleep, if it came. I stopped eating, stopped showering, stopped speaking. Jenny brought soup. I pushed it away. She sat with me in the dark, held my hand. Didn't leave you then. Won't now. I wanted to believe her. Couldn't. One night the power went out. Storm. Thunder shook the foundation. Lightning lit the basement. For a second I saw Grandma, standing by the stairs, smiling. I blinked. She was gone, but her voice stayed. Fight, baby. For us, I started small. Borrowed Jenny's laptop, created anonymous emails, dug hours, days, found Mrs. Klein's gambling debts, $47,000 to a bookie in Reno, the neighbor's DUI, expunged for $5,000 cash, the forged withdrawals, IP address, Montgomery and Associates, printed everything, hid it in a shoebox under the mattress, then the email, Dad's server, password, Monty, 1972. Richard, transfer $800,000 to Caymans before audit. Shell, Ocean Breeze, LLC, signed, Elaine, Mom, 8 years. Clients robbed, taxes dodged. The IRS owed millions. I downloaded it all. Backed up on 3 drives, called Mr. Caldwell, voicemail. I have something. Meet me. Bring hope. We met at the diner off Route 9. Burnt coffee, cracked vinyl. Mr. Caldwell looked like he'd aged 10 years. I pushed the drive across. Everything. He scrolled. Eyes widened. Harper. This could destroy them. I know he looked up. You ready for this? I've been ready since they locked me out. We planned in whispers. I cleaned offices at night. Cash. No questions. Saved every dollar. Hired a PI. Ex-cop with a limp and a grudge. He tailed them. Photos, Mom at the bank, depositing cashier's checks, Dad meeting a lawyer in a parking garage, recordings. If the girl talks, we bury her. Cayman's accounts, shell companies, a trail of greed from Manhattan to Miami. The trial loomed, their trial. Mine was over, lost. I owed $150,000, had $62, collectors called daily. Payment or garnishment, I let it ring. Jenny screamed, You don't have to. I do. I watched from the basement window. News alerts. Montgomery heiress in hiding. Speculation, rumors, suicide watch. I laughed, bitter, if only they knew. One night the faucet stopped. Silence. I sat up, looked at my hands, shaking, rage pure. I whispered, Time. We went to the U.S. attorney. Ramirez, sharp eyes, no nonsense. I handed the drive, 5 hours of questions. Did they hit you? No. Threaten? With poverty, she nodded. That's still a threat. The raid prep took weeks. I waited. Cleaned toilets, scrubbed floors, counted days. Jenny brought food, forced me to eat. You need strength. For what? I didn't say. The night before, I drove to the lake, sat on the dock, water black, stars sharp. I spoke to the dark. Tomorrow, Grandma, tomorrow, Tuesday, 7:12 a.m. I watched from Jenny's fire escape. Feds vests, battering ram. Mom screamed in curlers. Dad cuffed beside the Lexus. Agents poured in. Safe behind the portrait. My papers, the forged will, jewelry, cash, everything. News choppers, reporters. Breaking Montgomery fraud scandal. I smiled. Small, real, trial, swift, embezzlement, fraud, conspiracy. Mom collapsed. Dad stared ahead. Guilty, 25 years, lake house seized, sold, money returned, 4.2 plus interest. I bought it back. Cash, stood on the dock, rocked in the restored chair, whispered, I did it. Jenny moved in. Yellow kitchen, lavender fence, Elise's light, shelter, scholarships, hope. I visit the prison, not to gloat, to remember. The girl in the car, the girl under the dock, she's still there, but she's free. What would you do if this happened to you? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for watching The Wordy Revenge. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of betrayal, justice, and redemption. Until next time, stay strong and never stop believing in your truth.